here,
Oh, by the way, I was just going to ask you this. What database does NetSuite use?
Oracle.
Oracle. It's always Oracle?
Yeah.
Okay. And because we don't see, we don't have access, right, to the database. So
yes. So if you're using any sort of a data, any ETL tool, or even through SQL Developer also, you can, using JDBC connection, we can connect to the NetSuite database. But again, you can just retrieve information. So you can do select, nothing else.
Oh, you can do an ODBC connection to the database?
Sorry?
You can do a ODBC connection to the database?
Yes, but you can only retrieve information. You can do only select, or you can't do insert, update, or anything.
So, can you walk us through maybe sometime later, not the ODBC, but at least the how the database looks and how do we, I mean, what type of, is it, obviously it is table structure, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So do you have any documentation of what tables are there in distribution, manufacturing, those areas? If you have to
In
access
terms of, yeah. So I will say, yes, I think I should have, because I worked on such requirement once, where I build like certain reports based on this data. So I believe I should have, but let me check and get back to you.
Yeah.
Before
take your
our,
time, but yeah. Take your time.
Yeah, before our morning session, I should have something.
Sure. And if you have any type of architecture, how NetSuite is built, how do I say this?
So basically, a NetSuite architecture diagram.
Yeah, is there something like that? Because in all the ERPs, right? And I don't know about Oracle EBS, but SAP and JDE and all, you will have a solid architecture diagram. How the data flows between the.
I have, different. I have architecture diagrams where NetSuite, if it's the entire system architecture where NetSuite is there, other applications are there, how they integrate. But within NetSuite, let me see. I should be able to get something.
Sure.
This so NetSuite architectural diagram and how to connect or how does this table structure and everything looks, right?
Correct. Because okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can.
Certainly, I will do that. So, in terms of testing, right? So, I will show you one client script, which is.
One more thing, since you brought up the testing piece, right? Our software implementer, right? I don't know. They are little light on testing side. How after we convert the data and what to be tested in each module, right? So, do you have, by any chance, in your past implementations, do you have a list of what has to be tested? I'm a very regulated industry, so we have a solid test plan. Okay, correct. So every scenario within, let's say for sales order, right? Every scenario where whether it might be a STOT, transfer between warehouses, transfer between subsidiaries, as you mentioned. So everything, every order type, there is a sales order type, different types of order type, codes. Everything, how you do the testing and the flow. Have you heard about UPK, Oracle UPK?
No.
It's Oracle has been stored in UPK. So we have that far. We go that far because my previous company was a OEM manufacturers of
Okay.
guide wires, stents, and you name it. Pacemakers. So they manufacture for different companies like Medtronic, Boston Scientific, Johnson and Johnson, all these huge companies. So we have to go through those stringent rules and what they put forward with us. This is what it has to look like. They have to approve it because we manufacture for them. So I come from that background, and we usually have a very solid test plan. So by any chance, do you have a list of? I don't need any scripts, but test scripts, but maybe on a high level, this has to be tested in each module. Maybe I'm asking too much, I guess, but you don't need to answer me today, or maybe we can talk later also.
Let me check if I have something like that. Understood.
Also, you can view the code also, what is being deployed.
Yes, I mean, you can view the code that is there. You can view all the scripts and everything. But test plan wise, I believe. So what is the activity which is happening right now? So like you're migrating data from one system to NetSuite?
Correct. We have a homegrown system here. It's been there for 20 years, and they are moving to NetSuite.
NetSuite, right? So this entire data migration activity.
It is. And eventually, everyone will get all the company wide. They'll get trained, and all that. And with the data, what we have, the master data. Right now, we have master data in our sandbox, but when we do some transactions, when we configure the system properly, that's we are configuring it right now as we speak, but it'll take some time, about a month or so, to get things done. And at the same time, they will be doing some customizations and integrations. We have some solid integrations going into the system, so that'll all be done by next month end. So after that, our test, there are 3 different tests, Q1, Q2, Q3. So if there is not, don't worry, don't. I mean, I might ask someone who is also familiar with the NetSuite here, but I thought I'll just.
So the point is, no. The point is, I have not, worked on the testing side. I've done unit testing and all, but I've worked on a scenario where there used to be different testing team always. But I can definitely, check some of my friends and colleagues who have been there on the QA part, and then I can give back to you.
Absolutely. And so I'll say on this, let's say on a sales order, right? On the sales order module here, can we see the underlying code, how they have written this code for the sales order?
No. The only thing we can see is the page XML if you want.
Page XML?
Like object, in an XML structure, I told you, right? Where in the URL you put %XML equals to 3, it will show you the XML structure of the page or the entire object in an XML format, but you cannot see the source code.
You cannot. Okay. So the source code, you cannot see it. Okay. So do we know what language they used to do this one?
I can check. I'm not sure right now.
Okay.
I can check.
Sure. Because if you see Oracle side things, right? They do a lot on Visual Studio. If you ask me, JD Edwards basically built on with C++. So yeah, I mean, so that's why you have some of the programs you can write C++ business functions in JDE. So I always take JDE because I worked a lot on JDE side.
Mm-hmm. No, JD Edwards, I know it is. I think it is VB and C++, right?
Initially it was VB. It's all
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft based, right? Everyone
Correct.
uses. So initially it was VB, but later on they did Visual C++.
Okay.
But then in JD Edwards, right? Everything is event rules. So the source, you can see the source code. So if I have to modify the sales order screen, right? It's called form in JDE. So you have that underlying source code. You can modify it, but there are thousands and thousands of
Nice.
lines for a sales order. It's
Right. So here
it's
also you
huge.
have, I mean, this is also called as form. You can customize it from UI, but yeah, unfortunately, we don't have access to the source code.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, in NetSuite also, the history is that NetSuite came as a startup. Like it was a startup. They came as a standalone ERP, and I think in 2016 is when Oracle has acquired it. So from 2016, it has become Oracle's product now.
Right. So whenever Oracle buys something, right, they first thing they will try to do is they want to kill that product. But
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, it has not happened with NetSuite yet.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, I
Because the
even
client,
when I started working on NetSuite, right, and then I got this news that Oracle has acquired it, I was a little tensed. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 2 years or 3 years down the line, I might have to switch to another. I might have to change my skill set and should switch to something else. But luckily, the market is going really good for NetSuite, and Oracle has not done general things what they do with any acquisition. Be it
so
JD Edwards, be it PeopleSoft, Siebel,
right, right.
they've done same thing. They've done same thing with everything.
But
The
NetSuite
on
has been pretty good actually last few years. Actually,
Correct. That's true.
in my
That's
previous
true.
company, we had three different ERPs. We had SAP, JD Edwards, and NetSuite. So
Oh,
JD Edwards was we had three versions. We were trying to hire a person last year, and we could not find a developer, even working remotely also. A good developer, actually. We had resumes, but could not find a good resume to call and finalize things. But, yeah, it is. NetSuite has been tremendously growing the last few years now, at least
true.
in US, I can tell you that.
No, in India, Indian market also. US, I mean, obviously, Indian market is pretty much dependent on US market. So in Indian market as well. And I've seen some European companies also who's started implementing that suite, and so it is going good. And yeah, I mean, if see in my previous company when the task was to grow the NetSuite practice and all the profiles and reviewers I was getting, I don't know, they mentioned they have like 6-7 years of experience in NetSuite and they don't understand basics as well. So I also have struggled, in the same hiring process. It's yeah, I don't know, it's a little tricky to find the right and best fit. But yeah, it is challenging in the market right now.
True.
Okay, so coming back to the script testing, uh, this is again logged out. So as part of this client script, what we're doing, we are on a page in it, we are setting default value for two fields, which is named as sales rep hour and sales rep number. So we are setting default values for these two fields.
Can you the very first right? So what does current record means?
So current record, as I told you, right, there is one module called current record, which is only available for client script.
Oh, it is only available for client script. Okay, so
yes.
So there is record and current record also. Okay.
So there is a record which is available for all scripts, and current record module is only available for client script. So current record, what it does, it gives you access to the record which is currently active in a client session. So let's say if I'm working on this sales order record from on this browser, so the current record module will give us access to this entire record because that is the one which is active in the client session.
Okay, sure.
So this is designed specifically for client scripts. All the APIs, whatever is there in that module, are only for client scripts. It is not used in any other script type.
Okay. Okay. And just go back to the script. Let's see.
Yeah. Now, in the first function, which is page init function. So as I told you yesterday also, page init function primarily utilized to default some field values or change some display types for a particular field or things like that, right? So what we're doing here, we have on a sales order level, we have two fields. One is the sales rep number, and then you have sales rep hours. So we are setting default values for these two fields.
Sure.
Okay. So now if you see in the script, we got this current using current record, we got the current record snapshot. And what we do, we are doing this current record dot set value for field ID. So I told you, right, that we use internal or the field ID for any scripting. We don't use the label. So cust body 132 is the field ID for this particular field.
Sure.
Right. So we are setting value for cust body 132 and the value is 1001. Similarly, cust body 133, that is another field ID, and we're setting the value as 0.
Okay.
That is the default value. So as soon as you open a sales order, you will see these two field values set as 1001 and 10.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. Now on save record, what we are doing, we are just displaying these two field values and then allowing save. So when I say displaying, we are putting it an alert, which will come as a pop-up, where we're putting an alert by saying value for sales rep number is this, and sales rep hours is this, and then we return true. So we are actually not validating anything right now. In this example, we are just showing the values as a pop-up, and then save will happen, right?
I don't see the value here, so we are not setting. So we are just getting the value from the field one.
Yeah,
okay.
So you have this, we are getting the field value for cust body 132 and 133, and then we are showing it in a pop-up.
Sure, perfect.
Okay, and then last thing is our validate field function. In validate field function, what we are doing, we are validating if for cust body 132, which is sales rep hours, if by any chance, if the sales rep number, if the number is any chance less than 1001, then we'll show an alert and return false.
Okay.
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 Yeah, we'll say sales rep value should at least be 1001 and then return false.
So if it is less than
1001.
If it is greater than 1001, there is no.
That's okay.
Alert.
That's okay. Yeah.
Just
that is enough.
Yeah. Perfect.
Now, on field change, what we are doing, we are validating if there is any value change on sales rep now number, which is cust body 132. Then we are setting the sales rep R as 100.
Okay.
Okay, very very small activity.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
it's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's quickly see this in. So as soon as I loaded the sales order, you see the value is defaulted to 1001 here, and sales
Sure.
rep R is 0.
Yep.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah.
Now let's see. I make this. Field change. I think there is some other script which is also deployed and taking into. Let me. Now this is another. Another thing. You going to customization script and scripted record.
Okay.
You can see the list of script
Yeah.
deployed on any record.
Sure.
So it gives you a list of
Can,
user
can,
event client.
No.
We can
No.
anyways finish it in like another 5 minutes. Then you can
Okay.
continue.
Sure.
Okay. So okay. So what we have here is we right now have three functions, which is page init, save record, and field change, right? So what happens is, as soon as this page is initialized, you will see the default values coming as sales rep number 1001 and the sales rep hours are 0, right?
Okay.
This is what we have written in the script. So you
That's
can
right.
see the default values going here.
Sure.
And then in field change, what we are doing, if we change value for this field, then your sales rep hour will become 100. That is the logic we had put, right? So let's say if I make it as 1002 and tab out, you'll see the sales rep hour is 100.
Sure.
Okay. Now, third thing is on the save record. Save record, I told you we are just saving these records and populating. We will now save. Before that, we'll show it as a pop-up. Like what are the values for these two fields? So I click on save, and you see this pop-up. Value for sales rep number is 1002 and sales rep hour is 100.
Yeah.
And if I click OK, it will go for save. But right now we have not entered all the mandatory field values. So the standard validation is showing an error.
Sure.
So this is like a very small example of what can be done using a client script. Now the assignment information which I shared with you, you can work on that. So it will give you hands-on experience for both of them, like client and user event both. You'll have a hands-on experience. And once we talk about this client script, linking client script to the Suite-Late, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is our topic after we finish the scripting, basic scripting.
Sure.
Then we'll have a complex client script and Suite-Late problems.
Sure. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.